hang out, I don't really care. See, if I don't have faith, I don't care about any of that. But if I have faith, I'm going to be concerned about this, and this is going to worry me. And you're going to be a lot like my daughter. She's not here. I cleared this with her earlier. But in my household, there's ready, and then there's ready. So I'll say, get ready, we're going to church. Or my wife does, and when I'm home, I experienced the last couple of weeks. It's like, all right, get ready, everybody get dressed. And they know what that means. Eat your Pop-Tarts, right? Get all that stuff going. Get dressed, comb your hair, brush your teeth. We're going. And it also includes shoes and jackets, which don't seem to happen until like I'm in the van. And my daughter will be upstairs going, "Follow me without me." She's afraid. She's afraid that we're just going to take off. Like, I'm going to leave a 10-year-old at home because she didn't have her sneakers on. So, no, I'm not going to leave her behind. And we feel that way. We get anxious about it. And is he going to shut the door on me?